At this point in time, whatever moves you, whatever issue, burns inside of you, whatever angers you, whatever frustrates you, there's an outlet. There are so many different organizations out there providing opportunities for people to get involved. So, for example, if you are interested or concerned with voting rights or getting people, helping people keep their right to vote, the organization, the New Georgia Project, is a wonderful place that you can go to help in terms of voter registration and also supporting them financially in terms of fighting voter suppression. Submitted by African Americans. 13% of those applications were submitted by white Americans. 7.9 by Latinos and 4.8 by Asian Americans. People, this matching system must be struck down. We are in these streets because we own these streets. Our ancestors marched, shed blood in these streets for liberation and freedom they could not achieve. I return to these streets because I believe that one day we will realize Wakanda, Wakanda forever. Hello, my name is Wanda Mosley. I'm a resident of the city of South Fulton, Georgia, in a suburb just south of Atlanta. First, let me take this opportunity to thank the Movement for Black Lives for this amazing opportunity. I'm so excited to be applying for the Electoral Justice Project Fellowship. So first, a little bit about myself. I love playing tennis, and I'm pretty good. I'm a breast cancer awareness advocate. No kids, just a couple of cats. I have a vegetable garden in my backyard, trying to eat healthy, and one sibling, an older sister. I worked really hard to create the city of South Fulton. I'm fairly certain none of you are familiar with the city of South Fulton, Georgia, and that's because we just became a city May 1st, 2017. In 2016, I worked very hard on the campaign to get legislation passed so that we would have the opportunity to vote to become a city. Once we got that legislation passed, I canvassed local neighborhoods, phone banked, and engaged in a lot of social media to push the pro-cityhood movement. After we became a city on May 1st, I realized that many of my neighbors have what I term a very low municipal IQ, meaning we don't know much about municipal level politics. And so because of that, last summer, I founded a 501c3 organization called My Vote Matters. My Vote Matters does nonpartisan civic engagement work as well as voter registration. And I'm in the process now of starting a 501c4 called Black Votes Matter. I want to use this platform to support African American candidates. Imagine what it would be like to wake up to that sound every day. We are using this issue, the building of commercial warehouses in our neighbors' backyards, to build political capital in South Fulton. We are organizing, we are meeting, we are strategizing, we are engaging our elected officials, we are attending city council meetings, and we are working to see the change that we want in our communities. This is how a grassroots movement is born. I just learned today that our grassroots efforts are beginning to pay off. Currently, Union City, the municipality where the Coca-Cola United warehouse is located, only requires a 30-foot tree buffer between a commercial development and a residential site. Well, our county commissioners have just drafted legislation that will require municipalities to increase that tree buffer to 100 feet. This is a huge win for us, and we are super excited. At our very first coalition meeting, I was able to implement some of the strategies I learned attending Camp Wellstone. I took the group through an exercise using the VAST method: vision, assessment, strategy, and tactics. I thought it was important for us to clearly define our goals, then do an assessment of our targets, because in this particular instance, we have the builder, We have the developer as well as elected officials. In terms of strategies, it's important for all of these coalition members to understand how we move our targets. And lastly, tactically, it's important that we're all on the same page and realize the various tools that we have at our disposal to gain our victories. Being awarded this fellowship will help me achieve great things in my neighborhood. I want to continue building the capacity of my C3 and my C4 organizations. I reside in the 30349 zip code. There are approximately 67,000 residents in this zip code, and 92% are African American. We also have 20,000 unregistered voters in this zip code, and I plan on making a significant dent in that number. In 2015, I began working as a canvasser at the New Georgia Project, going door to door looking for disenfranchised voters. It was at this time that I learned the full extent of the systemic efforts in place to keep Black people home on Election Day. Building our political capacity, registering people to vote, getting Black folks to the polls, training candidates at the grassroots level who will one day work their way up through the ranks to the state level and the federal level is the only way we are fully going to achieve liberation amongst Black people in America. And I was glad that you brought up the recent Supreme Court decision to gut the Voting Rights Act of America. Black people's right to vote is under constant attack in this country. And if we are not at the table, then we are on the menu.